Hi, I'm Val Hart in San Antonio, Texas, founder of Val Hart and Friends at valhart.com. Welcome to the Real Dr. Doolittle Show, the show for animals and the people who love them. I've been called a real-life Dr. Doolittle many times in my career as an expert animal communicator, behaviorist, pet psychic, and master healer. My mission and passion is to improve the lives of animals the world over by helping humans learn how to speak their language, how to understand their viewpoints, and heal. After all, our love of animals helps us be better humans, and the more balanced and healthy we are, the more balanced and healthy they can be too. Be sure and look for my CDs on iTunes. And to find out more about my work and to receive your free Quick Start Animal Talk course, just go to my website at valhart.com. While you're there for a limited time, you can also apply for a complimentary Happy Animal Assessment session. And if you want to learn how to be your own Dr. Doolittle, check out the world's first complete Animal Communication Made Easy system available now on my website at valhart.com. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hi, this is Val Hart, the real Dr. Doolittle, and today I'm talking with Bonnie Best. She is the very best pet sitter and the author of the book, The Real Poop Scoop on Pet Sitting. Bonnie has been a professional pet sitter for 15 years, and she owns the Best Pet Sitting Service and also BNME Inc. She's a retired veterinary technician and has spent several years as a financial coordinator and accounts receivable manager at a large 24-hour emergency vet hospital. For the past 30 years, she's also been a professional dog obedience instructor, a therapy dog trainer, and she's raised numerous champion show dogs, which I want to hear all about. She's done obedience titleist. She's also been a cruelty investigator for the ASPCA and organizes charity events for abused children and pets. She says her passion in life is dedicating herself to pet education and care. And she's in Gilbert, Arizona, with her fabulous 5 dogs and, of course, her 2-legged husband and her daughter. Welcome, Bonnie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to talk to you today. I love what you're doing. The whole concept of making a living and a business and making your life around playing with pets is right up my alley because, I do that too. I made my work to be play, so to speak, playing with pets. So how did you discover and get into pet sitting?
Well, it was back when I was working for the veterinarian, and a pet sitter came in one day with her very large checkbook to pay a bill. And when she handed me the check, I noticed it, was having the large checkbook. I knew right away this must be a business. And it said her pet sitting business was on the name. And I thought, pet sitting? You do that for a living? And she said, yes.
Make money with that.
I had heard vaguely about this career, but it kind of was like, who does that? Who pays for that? Because working for a vet, we just took care of each other's animals when we were on vacation. Yeah. And when my husband retired from the military, we had wanted to open a boarding kennel. So at that time, I was thinking, I want to do a boarding kennel. I want to have my own business. And so when she came in, it was like almost like a godsend. It was, here's something you should do. So I asked her about it, and she said, oh, no, this is all I do. I own my own home. She was a single gal, and she was actually making that kind of income, which I had no idea. And so we went out to lunch, and she told me all about her business, and then she asked me if I wanted to follow her one day. So I did, and the seed was planted in my brain. I thought, this is it. Why? My kennel I had in my mind was going to be like $3 million, and, we were like, how are we ever going to do that? And it was kind of heartbreaking. So this seemed right up my alley. I didn't have to go buy a kennel and, the land and all that. And I went with her, and it was great fun. You just go to the pet's home, and we got to play with them, and you clean up and bring in the mail, and it was just wonderful. And that was it. I went back to work, thought about it for about 2 weeks, and I told the vet I worked for that I was going to go ahead and put in my 2 weeks notice and start my own business.
Wow.
I know.
So you didn't launch into it like a hobby on the side. You actually jumped in hook, line, and sinker. I mean, like into the deep end and said, I'm doing this.
Well, yes and no. Being married, I knew I had my husband's support, but I still needed to work. And my other big criteria, Val, was that I had a little girl in school, and I really, up to that point, when she got into first grade, I was able to stay home with her. So when I went back to work, working for the vet, it became real clear to me that I didn't like not being home when she was home and getting called in and, that kind of thing. And I really wanted to have my own business. And when I found out I could make this pet sitting schedule work for me and her and my husband, it just sounded perfect. So I thought even if I wasn't making a lot of money, even if we started out small, it would be better than, working like I was and never being around for her. So I thought I didn't need a huge career at that time. So I thought, well, I am going to quit my job because I realized I needed to be able to pet sit full time. And I just wanted a small little business. I didn't need anything huge. So they said, okay, they were going to miss me, and they kind of were laughing. They knew I'd be back. That's how they felt. But the great thing was, exactly. He said, okay, all right, we'll take you back when it doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, that was great. But he started sending me all my clients.
Wow.
And because he knew some of his clients did not want to board their dogs in the clinic, so he sent them to me, and that's kind of how the whole thing started. And it worked out for me and my daughter. We could see the business growing pretty quickly, and I was able to work my schedule around her school schedule and when my husband was around. So it was beautiful for that. It was very small and intimate at the time. I had no idea of wanting a big business. It was perfect. So that's kind of how I got into the business.
Wow. Well, and I think it's really interesting. We're going to get more of your story about how you created actually a really lucrative career, and the upside potential of playing with pets as a pet sitter. I know you said many people view pet sitting as a little hobby on the sideline, a little sideline for little old ladies who don't have anything better to do, or maybe preteen girls, and it really is. It's far from the truth. It can be a viable professional career with so much potential for an animal lover.
Well, nowadays especially. I mean, it still can be that really small, intimate business. And, of course, some people still will hire the girl next door or whatever. But nowadays, the general public has become quite aware of pet sitting as a profession. And what they like about it is that most professional pet sitters carry insurance and they're bonded. And they feel secure having you come in their home because there's that security level, the professional level, and they don't have to bother their friends and family, and they don't have to worry about is the teenager going to show up. And they really have learned in the last, I'd say 10 years, that this is a great service. I'm willing to pay for it. My pet doesn't have to go to the kennel and a lot of times the dogs will get kennel cough, and then you've got that bill. This way they stay home where they're used to it, and, we turn on music or the TV, whatever the owner wants. And when you come home, your house is just the way you left it. Your mail's in. We do security checks. It looks like someone's coming to your home. And I have never had a client use my service and then decide they didn't like it. Whereas I have had many clients the first time be very scared. They're like, I don't know about having you, But once they meet, who are you? I'm having a stranger come in my home. Oh, maybe I should just take the dog down to the vet, or the kennel or whatnot. But then they love it. They absolutely love it, and they just appreciate their pet sitters so much. That's part of the fun of it too. But back to what you were saying is it is a career nowadays that this is the best thing. You can do whatever you want. You can have a small business. You can grow it. If you want, you can just work with small animals. You can do exotic animals. You can add in the horses if you have that experience or you live in that type of area. You can do whatever you want with your business, and that is really the best thing about pet sitting nowadays. It's very flexible.
So those are some of the best reasons to be a pet sitter. Are there others?
Well, of course, the biggest thing is going to work every day and playing with pets. I absolutely to get up in the morning, put your jeans on and your tennis shoes, and go and just your coworkers are dogs and cats and horses, and to me, for people like us, you know, I just love that. It's just, my husband laughs at me. He's like, you don't have any stress. And I'm like, I have stress as far as the business end of it. But, yes, as far as going to work every day, it is the best job. I couldn't, you know, and it's different than even the veterinary world because they're not sick. You know, we're not dealing with that type of thing, which I loved while I was a tech. But I got to the point where this is usually very upbeat. You know, the animals are all great. The owners may have stressful situations. They may be going to a funeral or something, but generally it's vacations and business work. So it's generally 99% of the time a very happy type of career to be in.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't know if you know about my story, but I went into corporate America, you know, and I had my own corporation doing market research and working with entrepreneurs and, you know, very professional. I worked with my professors from college, actually, anyway. And at one point I realized how miserable I was. You know, I was so not happy. I worked for IBM, you know, in their research division, and whatever. But I was miserable. And I know a lot of people, you know, they have that, you know, the thought of going to work every day is depressing.
Yes.
You know, it's not a joyful experience. It's the work is a 4-letter word, you know, and not a good one. Not a happy word. You know, and so I really did an about face, and I looked and I said, you know, what is it that brings me the most joy? What makes my heart sing? You know, what makes me happy? And the truth was at the time is that the only thing I could really put my finger on was being with animals. Right. And so I know that our audience, if you're listening to this and this resonates with you, you might want to consider actually making your life more about, you know, working with animals, playing with animals. That's just so fabulous.
Reinvent yourself. I was reading an article about that, and it's a great time if you're having those thoughts and you love animals and you're, you know, in our career for pet sitting, you just have to be responsible. That's a big key. And you know, I'm helping a lady right now. She's in transition, and I said, well, just start out with a few pet sittings. You know, don't quit your job. Just go out there and start working with your neighbors and your family and friends. And sometimes they may not want to pay you, but hey, it's experience, and they can write you a testimonial, and you'll build your resume and see how you like it. And then in time, in a year, you probably can move on from your corporate job.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So I love it. We have to talk about some of the unexpected and things that people need to be prepared for, though. So let's talk about that for a second. What do you think the most unexpected or maybe the worst thing is about being a pet sitter?
Right off the top of my head, I think the thing that people really have a hard time understanding is with pet sitting, it is not a regular 9-to-5 job, and you will be working on weekends and holidays. You know, to me, if you think about it, it's very logical, but it is very difficult for some people to really get that concept. And that's the worst thing. Your hours will be different than what you're used to or what your friends and family are doing. You know, it's something to work through, and you will work through it, but you do work early mornings, late nights, and you will work weekends and holidays. You know, Tuesday and Wednesday is my weekend, as I say. So, and it works out better in my area. That's when things are slow. So we go out on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, not Friday and Saturday. And that's probably the worst thing about pet sitting is just those hours are quite different than what our mindset has been conditioned to over the years.
Well, and too, you know, as an entrepreneur, you can actually set your hours to a point. So, you know, if it's important to you to be home one weekend a month, you could actually schedule it that way. Yes,
you can. You know, and the other thing is you will learn to schedule your appointments around things you want to do because that, once again, you have control. Yes, a dog needs to go out if he doesn't have a doggy door before bedtime, but that doesn't mean you and your husband can't go to dinner and possibly a movie, you know. The dogs will usually go a couple hours before you have to go back. So I have never found it for me to be that inconvenient. It's just when you first start, you have to remember that, I'm not getting up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's going to be a little different. I have to readjust my thinking. So, but that would be the worst thing. I think as far as another unexpected, I think that it's a positive is how much the people will appreciate you. It was surprising to me. I just thought once they met me, that would be I'd just be their pet sitter. Yeah. And I was just floored how many people really will go out of their way to send me a card, to thank me, to call me up, and just go, wow, it was so nice. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, because at a regular job, you don't get that a lot. You're just,
no.
Once you get in the routine, they just expect you to show up, and that's it. And so you go to work, and the dogs and cats are loving you, and then their mom and dad come home, and they're like, sending you a card, and then they leave you treats next time. They'll leave you cookies or whatnot. They're like, wow. And they really do appreciate the fact that their pets mean so much to them. That's what I've learned. Yes. Their pets are their world, and as their pet sitter, they really start taking you in like you're part of their family, and they really appreciate this business, and that's why I think it's grown over the years. Instead of going backwards, pet sitting has become just more popular and more popular, and people really appreciate their pet sitters, so that's kind of a fun benefit to the job.
I love that. It just makes me smile.
Yeah, I tell my clients they blow my head up. Sometimes I can't get in my house, and my dogs go, whoa, Mom, what they do? And it's just one more thing that I just can't talk highly enough about pet sitting. I'm trying to think of anything that would be a negative other than the hours. That's really been the issue for me. And, when you first start out, you probably won't have a helper. You do need to think about having someone responsible who could fill in for you if you do need a day off. And but at first you may not need that. And, unfortunately I have to say to people, you're going to find out in this job you can go to work sick. I mean, depending how sick you are, I'm sorry, you can go with a sore throat and earache. You're going to go to work pretty much regardless, and there's no reason not to. Yeah. But once you get to a point, you can probably find. I use my client base to find my helpers. That's how I found them. They were my clients, and they wanted to help out once in a while. Yeah. They knew what they expected as a client from a pet sitter, so they knew how to act pretty much when they went. And that's how I started building up my girls that help me out for when I need a vacation and things like that. And they're very responsible because they have hired me as their pet sitter, so they know my routine and everything. So,
I love that. Yeah. That makes so much sense, and I like that you said that, too, because, for some people I know you might be thinking, how could I ever hire anybody to help me? Where would I ever find someone? Well, they're right there. Yeah, they're all around you.
Every one of mine has come from there, and it's true. It made the most sense for me because they're not strangers. No. And they know what they expect. Yeah. And so they've been great for me, and they just are wonderful. But back to that thing, a few of them forgot. I have to work weekends. And Christmas. What about my Thanksgiving dinner? And I'm like, well, you wanted to help, so
so that's when you hire your helper.
And they learn then, but that's the thing. It's like, you remember you went away last year. Well, now you're working, so you're not going away this year.
Santa will come without you there. Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of them have gone on to open their own businesses, so I've been real proud of them. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I love that. Good. Yep. So what type of person do you feel makes the best pet sitter?
Well, first off, obviously you have to really enjoy pets. If you think, I'm okay with them, or I like dogs but I cannot stand cats. I have a friend who had a small animal business, but then she decided to weed away the dogs, and she just really has a huge client base of cats. But she loves dogs, and she takes care of them. But I have had a few people tell me, I don't want, and I'm like, well, you're going to have a hard time building a clientele if you really don't like cats or dogs. You really have to like animals. The big thing is, I find that if you're really a social person and you love going to work to visit with everyone and you like partying on Friday nights and you're probably not going to make a good pet sitter. Seriously, if you're a social butterfly, the most of the pet sitters I know that really do this and do it for a long period of time, we're kind of more hermity, I would say. We aren't the social, we got to go out and we have to have parties all the time and have our friends come into our house for every weekend because you're going to be out pet sitting. So that's the only thing I see amongst us, the girls. We will talk on the phone, but we're really more introverted people.
Okay.
That's the thing, I would say.
I got it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, when we talk to people, they think, "Oh, you're so outgoing." Well, I am, but I don't want to go. No, I don't want to come to your house for dinner. No. Yeah. I'm more like, "Ooh, don't invite me to that party." I'll go sit in the corner with your dog, and I usually end up there. And they're like, "What are you doing on the floor with the dog?" I'm like, "Well, you told me to come, so here I am."
I came to see you. I came to see the Well, you know, and I like that you said that too. That you really do need to love animals. I would think that, you know, if you're not crazy about cats or you're allergic to them or, you know, have some problem with them, then you could, in fact, specialize in pet sitting with dogs. You know,
right.
So you could do a must-love dogs, you know, pet sitting service.
Yes.
Or horses, you know, or birds. I mean, they're all specialties with their own, you know, so you could actually specialize. So.
You definitely can, and I would say if you're starting out, you can, like my one friend, you know, after she got to after a while, she just started taking cats only. And she really liked that. But and it wasn't that she didn't like dogs so much, is she found out it was so much easier, and she had a large cat following from her vet, so it just turned into that. But yes, if you don't like an animal, like I tell people, especially with the exotics, do not offer that service. If you really are afraid of a horse or you don't have any experience or the large birds, you don't have to take them, and it's your business. So don't advertise that way, or if you're asked, don't hesitate to say, I really don't have experience, let me refer you to someone else that may. Because you will end up, the animal senses that fear, and it, you know, you have no control then, and you get yourself bit, and then you're, you know, it's not good.
Not good. No.
No one's happy.
No. All right. So tell us some stories. Tell us something. Has anything ever funny or embarrassing happened to you when you've been working?
Well, my biggest story would have to be, because usually it's pretty easy. Nothing, you know, no big things. But one time I did show up at a house, and it was a first-time client. So I had met them, and everything seemed fine, and I went about my business with the dog and was walking around and, you know, just doing my thing, and I ended up going down the hallway and to use the restroom, which I say in my book, try not to ever have to do that, but I did. It was first thing.
And here's the reason why you say that, right?
Yes, it is exactly why I say that. And the dog was rather huge, and this is just so embarrassing. It's funny and it's embarrassing, but when I came out of the bathroom, I didn't even shut the door because the dog was so big, and this house is very small. And he actually pushed the door open and came in with me. I came out and I turned and just looked in the bedroom that was right next to there, and there was a totally naked man sleeping on the bed. Well, I first thought, I was like, I'm so glad he didn't hear me and stand up and come, and I would have been mortified. I don't know. I probably would have just had a heart attack. And then I actually ran out of the house. I grabbed the dog and ran out of the house. I was so scared. I did not know who that was, and he was just totally naked. And then I started thinking as I was standing down on the street corner with the dog, I didn't know if he was injured. I didn't know who he was, why he was there. It was awful. Looking back, we laugh about it. And it turned out to be someone who wasn't supposed to be there, but it was a friend of the family. But I'm just like, wow, that is unusual. I have walked in on people being there, but that's, they hadn't left or they forgot to cancel or something, and so I always go in saying, hello, I'm here. But that was really traumatizing, I would say.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the story goes on and on about what I felt afterwards, and, do you call the police? And the whole thing was rather a long ordeal, but that won't happen, I don't think, to anyone else but me, so I've never heard of it happening.
Oh, that's too much. I could just imagine you walking in and all of a sudden seeing
especially I thought if this guy had woke up, I don't know why he didn't hear me. I mean, I was talking to the dog, banging the dishes around, we went in and out, and I'm like, he didn't wake up, and I thought if he had woken up and I was not sitting in the bathroom, I don't know what I would have done. what I would have thought, but he didn't.
Oh, God, I love it.
It was, so yeah, we learned that was our lesson in opening the door and really making sure no one's home.
That's a really good point.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So I know that you cover all of these topics in your wonderful book.
Oh, thank you.
Again, the title is The Real Poop Scoop on Pet Sitting, Creating Financial Freedom, Playing with Pets.
Yes.
Which is so incredible. And you've done really well with this.
Yes, I have. Like I said, I started the business I didn't want a big business. I remember saying this over, nope, I just want to keep it little, simple. I don't need a whole lot of money. I just want a little bit. But the first year, I was already making more doing my pet sitting than I was as a vet tech.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, this is really cool. But it still was very small. And I don't think it was until Nikki, I forget how old she was, I don't know if she was driving or she just got to the point where she really didn't need me around a lot. And I thought, well, what do I do? And it hit me that, well, I could see if I could expand my business to the next level. And that's when I did. I decided I was going to do it really, get some extra girls in and see how, I didn't have a plan like see how big I could make it. I just knew I wanted to do it even more. I wanted to really do the whole valley out here in Phoenix. And it didn't take me long to do that. I was quite surprised. So really, you have the ability to grow your business and really have what you want as a business owner. Yeah.
Well, and what I like, here on your book, I'm just looking at the back of the book, and it says, after realizing your small pet sitting business was nearing income of $70,000 a year playing with pets, and you weren't even working 40 hours a week.
No, I wasn't. That surprised me. In fact, I remember the moment my husband said, he yelled down the hallway, do you know how much money you made last year? And I'm like, well, no, because I just I did, but I didn't really keep track of it in my head. I really enjoyed just doing my job. And he was shocked, and I was not working. It seemed like I was not working 40 hours. I figured it up, and I thought, wow. And the reason I called it a little business is I hired a guy to work for me. He was also one of my clients, and he made the comment, I didn't know you really did this. I just thought you were just this little lady that did this on the side for fun. And I was like, well, I do, but I make really good money. I realized people think it's just this little tiny, little fun thing that little old ladies do, and I'm like, well, it is, and they can, but you can too, and you can make it whatever size you want. Yes. If you want to bring in an extra $10,000 a year, you can do that. If you want to bring in $100,000 a year, you can do it. And at that point, I wasn't working 40 hours a week, which really amazed me because all my friends have big degrees. They're working at big corporations, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. And they, even then, they thought, oh, she's just doing pet sitting. And I was like, wow, that's a misunderstanding in the general public. Totally. But that's okay for us pet sitters.
Exactly. Thank you very much. This is a really incredible and wonderful service, and your book is phenomenal. It is so fun to read. I have to tell everybody, this is one of the funnest books. It's so personal and so cute, and it's really powerful. It tells you exactly how to get started, what to expect, how to grow it, and on all of your secrets. So thanks, Bonnie. This is awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. So what would you want our listener to do next if they wanted to pursue this, or if they feel some resonance to this and wanted to find out more?
Well, I would suggest, of course, reading the book, and they can go to my website, www.therealpoopscoop.com, and I have a purchase button there. It makes it real easy. It'll take you straight to the Amazon purchase link. And, first I would really read through it so you have a little bit of insight of what you're getting into as a business owner. I think a lot of people think, well, I want to pet sit, but it is a business. There's that business end of it, so you need to be aware, you will have to deal with some business type things, and so that will enlighten you, and you can see if you really want to pursue it. And then, of course, they can contact me if they'd like to discuss anything through my website, and I can answer any other questions they might have, a few. But I think if they get the book to start with, it's a real simple thing to do. I would not suggest really contacting a pet sitter in your area yet until you really feel that you want a business and you want to do pet sitting, and then go from there. But I think the book would be the first thing to do, and to look around your area to see if it's actually an area that could support pet sitting in any way, shape, or form. You know, if you live in most cities, it can. Like I say in the book, if you're living up in Purdue Bay, Alaska, probably not so much. But you know, you can look around and ask your vet. But yeah, visit the website and read the book, and then if you have any questions, just contact me, and you know, we can help you get started.
I love it. So again, your website is therealpoopscoop.com. I'm going to spell that just in case people didn't catch it. THE, the real, REALPOOPSCOOP.com, therealpoopscoop.com. And they can contact you from there or get your book or get it on Amazon.
Yes, They can get it on Amazon. You can order it through Barnes & Nobles, and it's also available as an ebook on Kindle, Nook, and the iPad now.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's out there just about any way they want to get it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. I can feel excitement in the air. People get the idea that they could actually make a good living playing with pets.
Oh, I think they'd love it. I do. I love it, and I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Yeah.
It'll get them excited, and really those pet people they get excited about it, and I just know so many people, you know, like I said, if they even need to make a little extra cash, it's great.
Yeah.
Especially at the holidays.
Yeah. You know, there's so many folks out there don't know how to make ends meet. They got bills. They don't know what to do, and they love animals, and you know what? They never even thought about it.
That's right.
Yeah. They didn't think they could make a living doing what they love or playing with, you know. Yeah. So that's the point. Oh, and I forgot a piece. I was going to bring out that being able to communicate with your animals would be important for a pet sitter.
You can add that in there because it really is. And most people who would want to do this would want to probably be right up your alley because they already think they can. They already feel they love animals enough that they, you know.
Exactly.
They really have that compassion for them, and those are the ones that want to learn more about. Yeah. No. Yeah. Communicating with them, dealing with them. Come on, guys.
To me, that's the perfect venue because
it is.
You know, if you're walking into a house, you know, I do this. Go in with the house and connect with the animals. They need to tell you stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, for instance, you know, somebody was scratching at this window the other day and like they were trying to come in, and I barked and they went away. I mean, that would be important to know. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, I'm not feeling real well. You know, I threw up a little while ago. Or, or, you know, I've got this pain. I've got a headache.
Right.
Or I fell down the stairs and I'm having, you know, I'm hurting. Or, you know, whatever.
You know what would be really good, too, is which we could have continued on, like in your telesummit with the people will ask me, well, when you first meet on the meet and greet, and to me, you know, it really is, I need to know where things are in the house, but they're going to write it on my information sheet. Sure. What I'm actually doing in that meet and greet is getting to know the animal, and I tell people, you know, the people will tell you so much information you don't need, and the whole time, really, for me, and probably someone like you, I'm more listening to the animal. I want to know, and I also want to see how the owner's communicating with it or how they're not communicating. What is the animal
what are they not doing?
And how they're not. And it's true because, you know, we want to know, you know, does this animal like me? What's its problem? How's it going to react when the mom's not home and I walk in? And you get so much from the animal on that first visit. And so many people say, wow, Bonnie, my cat never comes up to people, and usually cats don't. I've never had a cat not come out and talk to me. And they're so impressed with that. But, you know, the dogs are pretty much dogs, and they'll at least come and see me. I find that people who do pet sitting don't have any dogs that really are aggressive or weird. They can be shy or really overly excited. But you do. The pet sitters really need your skill because they are communicating with these, coming into a house, and the animal's like, hey, who are you? Oh, yeah, I remember you. You know, but...
Yeah, but
I don't know. Can I let you in?
Really, exactly. Are you a stranger? Are you the kind of stranger Mom told me not to let in the house? Or, I remember you, but I'm not sure. So they need to know. You know, they have questions about where's my mom? Where'd they go? They haven't been here, and you know, why are you here?
Yeah, it's time for anyone to come home. Yeah, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
I always think my next book is going to be about the animals, what they're saying while your owner's gone.
Exactly.
You know, like they have a whole world. They're living with me, and the owner's not involved.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to tell you this, if you have a second. I just thought of this. I meet these people one time usually. And I had an incident where after several years, an owner called me over to pick up a new key or something. And she was walking the dogs down the street, and I pulled up, and I got out of the car, and the dogs just started dragging her. And she was getting irritated because she's like, stop it, what are you doing? She never recognized me. My hair was different. She hadn't seen me in years. and the dogs are like, Bonnie, Bonnie, Bonnie.
It's
Bonnie. They know me, but the owners have totally only seen me once.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Bonnie. I'm like, oh, my God, I thought the dogs were going crazy. They're acting idiots. And I'm like, no, it's just me. And I thought these dogs have a whole world that they're living in, and their owners don't even know. They're partying in the daytime with Bonnie, and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they come home at night going, oh, Bonnie was here. Bonnie was here. You should see what Bonnie did. We did this. And they, you know. So I thought I should write a book about what these animals do, and you're not what they're doing when their owners aren't home, you know, with their pet sitter.
They have their own secret world.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because I thought, wow, yeah, you're right. I don't see my clients usually at all anymore. We talk on the phone, but you know, my hair changes and you know.
Oh, your smell doesn't, and your animal.
Oh, yeah, I know. And I'm like, hi. And they're like, how did you know my dog's? I'm like, Bonnie. I'm like, yes, it's me. I know I'm getting older, but, you know, it's still me.
They know. They know.
They know it's Bonnie. I'm here all the time.
I love that.
Oh.
That's great.
So.
Well, yeah, you know, to me, the structure of the work has to include giving them a voice so they can share what they need to share and ask the questions, you know, address any confusions. They know when their folks are coming home. That's a service I do, you know, for one of my for my clients. You know, if they're
isn't that
go
fascinating?
On a trip,
they do know. You and I really. They know. My husband has seen it now, and he's not. Yeah. I kind of think I have been talking to animals all my life and didn't know it. Yeah. Because I just assumed my daughter was the first one. Says, Mom, you talk to the animals. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, people have said in the past, you have a way with animals. Yes. And I said, well, don't you hear them? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is something weird, but it's not like they're talking actual words to me, but I know what they're thinking. Yeah. And I know from my pet sitting, they do know they know the day their owner's coming home. Yes, they do. Every one of them. And I'm like, am I just imagining this? And I've tried, like, is it something I'm doing? No. And I've tried to not, you know, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to act like they're coming home. And they know. No, and I'm like, these animals are so fascinating. They know. I watched a show on that, and maybe you were on the show. I swear. Weren't you on TV once? I've been on TV a few times. Well, I might have seen you, but definitely one time I watched a show about this, how they did research, scientific research. And, they do know. Yeah. They know. But it's proven, and we don't really know how they know, except, of course, in my world, they know because of telepathy and our energetic connection. Yeah, that's the only way they would know. They feel us. You know, they know what we're doing. They can feel our energy. They know even if you're 1,000 miles away. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as distance, you know. Yeah. Space and time. So. Isn't that something? Well, you and I could talk for months. I know. Okay, so now for real, let's finish up. Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Bonnie. All right, so let's get together and play some more. Okay. With our bets, and thanks again. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Val. Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. For more information or to listen to other podcasts, go to valhart.com/blog. And if you're someone who values a non-invasive, holistic solution to resolving problems with your dogs, cats, and horses, and you want better behaved, healthier, and happier animals, just go to my website at valhart.com to apply for a complimentary Happy Animal Assessment session. And be sure and remember to look for my CDs on iTunes. Learning how to talk with animals is fun and will change your life. So while you're there at my site, get my free Quick Start Animal Talk course and check out the world's first complete
Animal Communication Made Easy system. May the love of animals bless you, teach you, inspire you, heal you, and reconnect you to the circle of life.